Hi, I'm Vicky from TOBi. One of the activities that we do when we're working with teams or with leaders is we get them to identify their superpower. So every superhero has a superpower, but they also usually have a weakness, like a kryptonite. And I think that's why they hang around in groups, because they've got strengths, but they've also got weaknesses, and together they can work together to save the world. So while you and your team may not be on a mission to save the world, there are so many benefits to knowing your superpowers, each other's superpowers, and your kryptonites. To be able to know within your team who's really awesome and confident at something and you can call on to help you, or might need your help. They might need your superpower to support their kryptonite. It's a really beautiful way to get to know each other a little bit better, and it's actually really important for a high functioning team. So the process of identifying your kryptonite and your superpower is a really interesting one. Most people are really good at telling you their kryptonite, and they'll give you a long list. It might not just be one thing, it could be lots of things. But when you ask them to tell you their superpower, the thing that they are awesome at, the amazing thing that they bring to their workplace and to their team, a lot of people struggle. So I remember one group that we were working with. It was at the start of the pandemic. They were all working remotely. We were all working remotely. And so everyone had dialed in from their home computers. And so there were all these beautiful faces on the screen, and we were going around the group and everyone was sharing what they'd identified as their superpower and their kryptonite. And we got to one woman, let's call her Sarah, and she confidently told us her kryptonite, all the things that she thought she was terrible at, and she said, "But I don't have a superpower." So I hadn't actually encountered anyone really not being able to identify their superpower. I asked her a few questions to try to encourage some thoughts around it, and she really didn't think she was exceptionally good at anything. So I paused for a moment because I was thinking, how am I going to help her identify her superpower? And when I paused, somebody else in the group jumped in and actually said, I think your superpower is that you're amazing at helping people feel comfortable at work. And he gave an example of when he first started there and how she'd welcomed him in and helped him get settled and introduced him to people. And in that group of 19, everybody else then jumped in and shared what they thought was her superpower and how amazing she was. And she was crying. It's actually a little bit emotional thinking about it, because can you imagine coming into a group session and really feeling you don't have a superpower, that you are not amazing at anything, and then having all of your colleagues tell you how amazing they think you are. It was really powerful, and yes, at the end of it, Sarah did identify her superpower. So what happened in that session was not just identifying superpowers and kryptonite. There was a bit more going on, they really connected on another level. And I think that's really what happens. We do these activities, they're kind of fun, they're a bit silly sometimes. What's your superpower? You're a superhero. It can seem a little bit, fun and silly, but there's a lot going on underneath it. So I really encourage everyone to think about, what's your superpower? What's your kryptonite? That thing that you're not confident with yet, that you might need to work on. And look at the people around you and how that can help you guys really connect with each other.